Radical.
Concord, which is the Sony game that I laughed about weeks back when I talked about the atrociously bad fucking character designs. We had a hearty laugh at that. Concord is now getting pulled off of sale. Okay, so September the 6th, in a couple days, Concord is going to be taken offline, but players will receive a full refund, Sony announced today. Well, that's great. They're going to give people a refund that bought the game. How much was this fucking game anyways? Was it full priced? I hope it wasn't full price, but this is the first time I've heard of anything like this happening. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's not, but has any game ever released and then been taken down less than 2 weeks after it actually released? Now, there's a lot of reasoning behind what's happening here. Apparently, Ryan Ellis said, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize the other aspects of the game, and our initial launch didn't land quite the way we intended. They said also it's taken offline so they can explore options, including those that will better reach our players. So it's a little unclear from what I'm reading if this is just going to be pulled off so they can work on it and re-release it. It's kind of weird because there's been games that have come out that have had poor response. Like, for instance, what's that one space exploration game from Sony? You know what I'm talking about, right? The name escapes me right now, but it wasn't taken off for sale, I don't believe. But they basically, tip of my tongue. But they worked on it for like years, and then it came back now, and it's pretty good, actually. Cyberpunk 2077 was not taken away. I think refunds were offered, I believe, but it wasn't taken away. You could still purchase it. It wasn't taken down. You can still buy it. But now, Cyberpunk 2077, after updates, it's far better than it used to be. But this is going to be removed immediately. And anyone who purchased this on the PlayStation Store, all three of you, or PlayStation Direct, are going to be refunded to their original payment methods. But those who purchased on Steam or the Epic's Game Store, you get your refund in the next couple days. The refunds physically, a little bit tougher, but they said players can check with individual retailers and obtain a refund. And Sony's going to organize a system with them that allows the refunds to be processed fully. But that's just wow. This is an instance actually where it's actually worse if you got the game physically than digitally, actually. In the case of refunds, people talk about what's better, physical or digital. In this case, actually, I'll admit, it was better if you get it digitally. If you're looking to just play it and not collect it. I don't know if there's many collectors for Concord. Was there actually a collector's edition? That'd sting if it was a collector's edition. So again, it's been removed from sale 11 days after the launch. And what else here in the details? Okay. A little bit into why it was removed. Well, it had a peak player range on Steam of 6,970, which is not good at all. Wait a second. Oh, I'm seeing a zero. I did 97 players total on peak. I can't believe that. So under 1,000 on peak players on what's a online game? Okay, if you release a game that depends on the online, and it's like an Overwatch type game, but you have only hundreds of people playing when it first comes out, they probably saw, we got to pull this thing because in a month or so, it's going to be 100. In 2 months, 40 or 50 people playing. Well, I will say, if there's that few of people playing, then you might be one of the best players of that game ever. You know, or the flip could be the right where There's hardcore Concord player games, and then you're not gonna win any matches because the people that are on there are the diehards, the only people that know the game and have played it for a while. As far as the money and the time, 8 years of development, almost a decade, and almost hundreds of millions of dollars were spent by Sony on this turd. What the hell, man? This is crazy. I was going to report on some news from Xbox that there was a Souls type of game that has been indefinitely held back for some issues with actually Xbox themselves. I'm not going to cover that, though. So I just want to let you all know that I'm just not a person ragging on Sony specifically. Xbox has some issues also, but this was supposed to be a hugely hyped up game for Sony. But now they themselves are pulling it from sale. Also, one quick thing here. How many copies does it say this sold? I think it had... How many copies? Give me a moment. What the hell? 25,000 copies sold? 25,000? And of those, max 700 players were playing at one time? What does that mean? Under 2 weeks, that means 25,000 copies got sold. And then of those, people just played it for a little bit and said, fuck this shit, it's terrible. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, what a huge, huge fail.